Hey there, everybody. So, for some funny reason, I didn't think that we needed any changes after that 5-0 victory to start off the season. We're here against Taiwan Power. We're playing at home again, which is a little bit unusual for us. So, two straight home matches for us. And as you can see, nobody's decided to show up again. I don't know why we have a stadium this big in Taoyuan of all places, because there's not that many football fans here. I mean, we've already won the league. You know, are we expecting to suddenly get 20,000 people after drawing like 300 or something like that every day? I mean, it's not going to happen. And there's Nene over to Chen Chengju. He kicks it up to Cai Yuting, and we're underway. Cai Yuting dekes, feigns, and then it's back to the back, and Ling Guanda here wins it back for us over to Chen Chengju, over to Menegong now. And he's looking for a cross and ends up passing it back to Cai Yuting over to Chen Chengju now. And over to Cai Yuting again. So they're doubling up on Chen Chengju when he has the ball in that position. It's a little pass over to Ndaye. And there's the crossover to Ling Guanda, who gets his first goal of the season, 1-0 for Mars FC. And as you can tell, assuming as I do that you watched yesterday's match, we are definitely sharing the wealth here this season. And it's been very, very good for us so far. These are definitely the best of times. No question about it. And 1-0 for Mars FC. And let's get that ball back. Let's score a couple more. So Ling Guanda, it's been a little while since we've seen him score, and here is a corner. Feng Shaochi going to take this one, knocks it forward, and can't quite find anybody. This time he actually follows up on the corner, and nothing happening. Still Ling Guanda now over to Chen Chengju, over to Ling Guanda again, and his shot from range, which, as always, was very ill-advised, ends up not doing much of anything. Cai Yuting now with the ball in the back, over to Huang Chirwei, and then up to Menegong. This is more like it, over to Silla. Silla down to Chen Chengju, over to Ndaye. And he's just going to take this up himself. A big full head of steam over to Feng Shaochi, and it's tapped in by Nene Gnarini. He has his second of the season. That means he's tied now with Menegong for the lead in the team, and probably the league as well, I'm guessing. And so not too bad at all. We had this in a very, very good position. And, I mean, he just had to tap that one in, didn't he? Not much to it. Feng Shaochi's cross probably was also going to go in. Here's another cross from him, and this one ends up being knocked back out. But Menegong walks over and just takes the ball again. Thank you very much. Over to Ndaye. His shot from the middle of nowhere does nothing. Chen Chengju with it now. Passes up to Menegong. Menegong with the ball. Menegong over and back to Cai Yuting. Cai Yuting over and back to Huang Chirwei. And we're going to set it up again. Menegong now with a throw over to Silla. Back to Menegong. Over to Silla again. That was good. Forward, looking for Feng Shaochi. Can't find him. Back to Chen Chengju. Feng Shaochi now with it over to Ling Guanda. And that was a really poor pass from Ling Guanda. He was a little bit too excited. But Cai Yuting just sort of sits back and waits for that pass. He knows that's coming. And is able to get that interception. Chen Chengju now over to Ling Guanda, and that's pass forward for Silla. Silla looking for Nene, can't quite find him. And then Ndaye gets the header. Fade away header. You ever see that one? And the keeper is caught flat-footed. Can't reach it, and that's a goal again for Ndaye. Look at what he does with this header. This is one of the most incredible goals I've ever seen. So this is knocked backwards. Ndaye is going the wrong way and manages to get enough on that one to score, and it's 3-0 for Mars FC. We have scored 8 goals without giving up a single goal so far, and we look really good. And it's Menegong with it over to Silla. Silla over to Ndaye. Ndaye kicks this one forward for Chen Chengju, and don't do that. If you don't know where the goal is, do not shoot, right? You're supposed to be playing as a defensive midfielder. Let the segundo volante try that. It's not your job. Lichaba grabs that one. I mean, geez, he doesn't even know where the goal is. Doesn't know where he's at. He just likes to run. Cai Yuting with it over to Menegong. Down to Ling Guanda over to Silla. That's the reason why Chen Chengju is not playing as the segundo volante, because he can't shoot. Cai Yuting now with the ball. Cai Yuting with it still. Moves it up slowly. Back to Huang Chirwei, and I'm looking up at this big bird. I have a bird feeder right up here, and I like to look at it from time to time. It makes me feel happy. Passed over, and Nene needed to follow up on that one because he had a sitter just waiting for him. Huang Chirwei knocks this one forward for Nene, and that was another sitter that hit off the side post, and he should have 2 goals by now. Nene, I mean, we're not even at 30 minutes into this match, and we're already dominating like this, and Ndaye looks unstoppable today. Shi Han knocks up that free kick, and Feng Shaochi was the one who ended up blocking that shot. Lichaba was in a fairly good position, but not quite good enough. And so, as always, we're wondering, okay, do we stick with Lee Chaba? What do we do exactly? He's still trying to get used to that sweeper keeper role, and our header there didn't have very much on it, did it? That was kind of a wasted opportunity. Chu Yu-hong knocks this one forward for nobody, and Huang Chue knocks it back to Lee Chaba, over to Huang Chue again. So, I mean, we just get the ball again, and we hold on to it as usual. Liu Chunjie, by the way, was not on our team before. We had a player with a very similar name, but it wasn't this guy. This is a guy who is 17 years old, who I just signed, and figured he was good enough to play at the first team, and apparently he's good enough to start, and he's looking pretty good so far. So he's had a good match for us yesterday, and he is having a good match for us again today. So yeah, we'll stick with him. Might as well. I like it when they're only 17 and they play like they've always been here. We like guys like that. Menagong. And that free kick was hit with a lot of authority straight into the wall, so it was not very useful, I hate to say, Menagong. You can see we were on top of everything at the very beginning of this match and the very beginning of this half. And recently here at the end of it, it looks like we've tired just a little bit. Might be that hot Taiwan sun here in April. And that's going to be here. The end of the half is coming up pretty soon. Chen Chengju over to Silla. Silla passes it back to Cai Yuting. We're going to take it up slowly over to Menagong. That's a little bit more like it. We like to see that slow build-up over to Silla, and it's over to Ndaye, who almost scores his second of the game. And that was a great, great header by him. And Ndaye with that header, man, I tell you, if you can get it on to the right angle, he's going to score. Cai Yuting, and he ends up missing that one. It's going to be another corner for Mars FC. And so here it comes. Feng Shaochi going to take this one, knocks it forward, looking for Huang Chue, can't find it. Back to Feng Shaochi, over to Liu Chunjie, who had a pretty good pass there. I thought he played fairly well in that little exchange. Not sure if it's worth anything as far as XG is concerned, but we'll go ahead and move forward. We have had a lot of shots on target. I enjoy that. Let's see what we can do here in the second half. And we need to get the ball off of them first. Once we get the ball off of them, there we go, then we can have our offense take over and do what it does so well. Silla, not having the best of times out there, and that's the other one that we look at because Lingwanda can always move forward, and that's another foreigner who, if he stops playing well, we might think of getting rid of. This is how it works here, you see. I'm always trying to get rid of the good players that we finally got. That's the goal of Football Manager. You get good players, now you got to get rid of them and get some others, even if they're not as good. And what are we doing here? Why are we letting them keep a hold of the ball? And they have scored. Shirhan has scored, but there was a guy offside, and they're not going to call it. So it's 3-1 now, Mars FC, and I have to put at least part of the blame here on Lee Chaba, who did basically nothing. Look at how far offside that. Well, I guess, it's Shirhan was not. It was this guy here, Hu Hongqi, who was offside by about a mile. And I don't know. Whatever, we're going to score again. Menagong with a shot, and that ends up just barely missing everything. I thought we had just scored there right away. Our guys are complacent. They're falling asleep. Let's see if we can get these guys to wake up. Of course, I tell them to demand more when we're moving. Oh, look at that, and they're happy now. There we go. Yeah, we shouldn't give up goals that easily. That's the problem that we have, but we have some problems there in the back. It would be nice to have Bamba starting again for us, but I don't know who to kick off of the five foreigners. And Chen Chengju, I could see there was having a really, really bad match, and he's definitely part of the problem. He keeps going out of his position, which is the problem. We need somebody who's going to actually play as a defensive midfielder, not somebody who really wants to be an attacking player. Hu Hongqi with this again, and he scored. And we might not start Lee Chaba tomorrow. I mean, that was pretty bad. And, I know he's behind the defense, but Lee Chaba is right there, and he doesn't even make a chance and make an attempt at stopping that. We might have to double think whether this is really the guy that we want out here. And there was Nene, who was looking for a header and almost got that one over. We're in danger of letting them tie this match, and this is a match that we were dominating right from the start, and here they come. And it's Hu Hongqi again, and this is really, really bad. And all of a sudden, we are in trouble, and we need to make a couple substitutions, I think. So we have paused everything for the time being. Chen Chengju, you're going to come off for Chen Zhenwei, and Lee Chaba, you're coming off. You're going to be benched for a little while. And this guy, whoever you are, we're going to put somebody else on for you too. There you go. Lee Chaba is probably going to be fined for allowing those goals to go in. Yeah, he's got a 6.3 rating. We're going to give him a 2-week fine. It'll make him upset, and that might give us the impetus that we need to get Cotter Bamba back on the team, because that was really, really poor, and he needs to play better than that. Silla now with the ball over to Jian Chengwei. Cai Yuting now over to Silla. Silla with the shot that does absolutely nothing, and that was ridiculous. Could have used one more pass. One more pass would have been nice, and we are in trouble now. We're in trouble of a draw, of course, but what I'm really worried about is them scoring again. Ling Guanda gets that. I'm surprised there was no foul called there. Ling Guanda's going to do this all by himself and almost scores, ends up hitting off of the post. Now over to Ndai to Jian Chenwei. Menegong with a shot, and Silla just can't quite get over there to follow up on that one. And, Ling Guanda, just look at this. He just runs right up the middle. It's like Moses parting the Red Sea. And I think Cho Yu-hong actually got to that. I think that it was actually a save. But what an impressive job by Ling Guanda. This is the reason why we made sure to sign this kid, because he's really, really good. And if he's this good at this age and at this level, what's he going to be like in the future, right? He's only like 21, I think. There's a lot of room for him to grow. It would be nice if we had, coaches and training facilities, but, minor details. Here's Nene with it. I suppose he's onside, over to Menegong, and it's over to Ndaye, who gets that header. And that's probably the best, the last really good attempt that we're going to have here. And I think that we are just about done with this match. And it was Menegong here with a corner. And so it was only in the matter of a couple of minutes that what was an easy victory has turned here into a draw. And this is the end, and that's going to be it. That was a really poor performance by us. 1.85 XG, we should have won. We allowed them to get in too much. They only had 3 shots on target, scored all 3. That's it for today. I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.